The good old hockey game is back. The 2020-2021 NHL season begins January 13th after the NHL and NHLPA agreed to a shortened 56-game schedule in late December. Yet there's still a lot the league has to navigate. 868 games over 116 days, with the pandemic threatening to throw a wrench into its plans. So here is everything you need to know about what should be one of the most unique and memorable seasons in hockey history. So sit back, relax, and take this in. Training camp for most of the league began January 3rd, although for teams that didn't qualify for the 2020 postseason, camp opened December 31st. There will be no preseason, and teams will play their condensed 56-game schedule from January 13th to May 8th, with the Stanley Cup playoffs starting May 11th. Unlike a regular NHL season, this one will solely involve intra-divisional play, meaning teams will only face other teams within their division. But the divisions themselves have been realigned for just this year. While the NBA only had to deal with one team outside of the United States, the NHL had to figure out the logistics for 7 of its Canadian teams. So they opted to create the North Division, consisting of all 7 teams that will play each other 9 or 10 times throughout the season. So get ready for 10 battles of Alberta. So get ready for 10 battles of Alberta.
Nailed it.
Teams within the other 3 new divisions, the East, Central, and West, will play each other 8 times because those divisions consist of 8 teams. Realignment was necessary because the Canadian border remains closed to non-essential business, but there are other benefits too. The intradivisional play will minimize travel, help reduce costs, and reduce the potential risk of spreading the virus, but it also makes it much harder to assess the true quality of each team. Another new wrinkle, all 4 divisions will be sponsored, generating much needed revenue for the league, which has suffered without live fans during the COVID pandemic. They'll be known as the Scotia North Division, the Honda West Division, Discover Central Division, and Mass Mutual East Division. On top of that, 13 NHL teams will have helmet sponsors for the first time this season, and as we've seen with the NBA's jersey sponsors, those are almost assuredly here to stay. Speaking of fans, the NHL is not going to institute a blanket policy regarding how many fans will be allowed in arenas, but instead will tell teams to follow the government regulations in their respective markets. The Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Dallas Stars, Vegas Golden Knights, and Arizona Coyotes will have a limited number of fans in their arenas right out the gate, and the Boston Bruins reportedly have hopes of opening up their arena in a limited capacity in March. As for the Canadian teams, not only will they not have any fans in attendance, but 3 of them aren't yet even guaranteed to be playing at home.
Well, maybe great for you, but it sucks for me. I hate this place. I hate it. I just want to go home. Why can't we just go back home?
So far, Alberta, British Columbia, and Quebec have signed off for the Canucks, Flames, Oilers, and Canadiens to play their home games in their respective arenas. But as of publishing time, Manitoba and Ontario have yet to give the Jets, Leafs, and Senators the green light. If the Manitoba and Ontario provincial government rules against their home teams playing in their provinces, the NHL and NHLPA have a contingency plan to relocate the Leafs, Jets, and Senators to a neutral Canadian site. The San Jose Sharks will open the season with 8 straight road games due to Santa Clara County's COVID-related policies on sports and travel. If the Sharks are still unable to play by their first scheduled home game on February 1st, they could be forced to play at Glendale's Gila River Arena, home of the Coyotes. There will also be increased flexibility with NHL rosters this season, adding an NFL-style taxi squad of 4 to 6 players to the regular 23-man roster. Taxi squad players will be paid their full AHL salaries and will travel and practice with their respective NHL clubs. Teams will also be required to carry 3 goaltenders at all times. As for the playoffs, the league will return to a 16-team best-of-7 4-round playoff format. 4 teams from each of the new divisions will qualify for the playoffs. The first 2 rounds will be intra-divisional play. Then, the 4 division winners will advance to the semifinals, reseeded based on their regular season point totals. This means at least 4 Canadian teams will make the playoffs and 1 will be in the Final Four, but it can't be an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final. But we could see some other juicy, not normally possible Cup final matchups like the Habs and the Bruins or the Leafs and the Bruins under the new realignment. Leafs fans can dream, can't they? There's a lot to look forward to. I mean, Zdeno Chara is wearing a Washington Capitals uniform, and Joe Thornton is rocking the Maple Leafs blue and white. But you tell us, what are you looking forward to most with the NHL season?